Don't just aspire to make a living. Aspire to make a difference.
Leadership. The individuals who are the leaders in an organization, regarded collectively. The activity of leading a group of people or an organization, or the ability to do this. This is what the normal textbook definition is if you look it up in a dictionary right now. Please something similar. This is also, probably, what most of you instinctively think about when you hear the word leadership. Here, we would like to draw a clear distinction between this archaic definition of leadership and what we would like to call management. Leadership and management are not synonymous. You have 15 people below you, and you have responsibility for the profit and loss? Good for you. Hopefully, you're a good manager. Because good management is needed. Managers need to plan, monitor, coordinate, and so many other things. But managers manage things. Leaders lead people. So how do we define leadership? Especially since we don't agree with the old textbook definition. For us, a leader, in contrast to a manager, is a visionary. He's someone that can use his influence to lead people forward. As we saw with Simon Sinek, a leader, just like companies that know their why, is rare and is someone that inspires us. And we follow them whatever they do, assuming we share the same goal as them. Also, that is very important. The fact that the leader in question has a goal and a specific plan of how to reach that goal. Otherwise, he's just a thinker. We think, simply put, that leadership is the act of social influence that maximizes progress to reach a specific goal.
Good day, everyone. This is Mr. Marjvin Lapiras, or you can call me Marge. In this particular discussion, we will talk about the leader or manager as creator of teaching and learning culture. We will make this one even more excited as we will have a mini workshop on creating an effective teaching and learning culture. At the end of this discussion, you, the attendees, were able to identify characters of an effective leader or manager as creator of teaching and learning culture. Analyze the 7 truths on how to become a leader or manager as creator of teaching and learning culture. And conduct a write-shop on the step in becoming an effective leader and manager as creator of teaching and learning culture. I hope you're now ready. Let us now begin. Let me start with a question. Why leaders are needed in a teaching learning organization? Again, why leaders are needed in a teaching learning organization? Please take time to type your very short answers on our meeting chat box. Go. And the time is over. We can see a lot of answers over there. To answer this one, I would like to start with the quote coming from Mr. Albert Einstein saying, "Setting an example is not the main means of influencing another. It is the only means." Now, to answer the question, why are leaders needed in a teaching learning organization? Well, organizations require leaders for them to refocus, require leaders who can set the course and organizational engine in a competitive climate in a global scale. consistent numbers of leaders is crucial for organization to be successful and productive. All of these has been proven by different companies that has been surviving, striving, and even winning in the long run of industries. Relating it to the winning organizations in the global scale, we should know what are the characters that the winning organization do have. First, they do have proven leaders to deliver the teaching. The leaders themselves are the one to teach to their colleagues. And leaders are avid learners as well, just like what you're doing now. You are fond of learning new things and able for you to impart things unto your community. Now, relating it and for making it a good start, I'd like to ask a question to you again. What characters should you possess to become effective creators of teaching and learning culture? Again, what characters should you possess to become effective creators of teaching and learning culture? Please take time to type your very short answers on our meeting chat box. And the time is up. There are actually 4 main characters that you should possess. First one, you should be filled with ideas. Great companies are built on central ideas. By passing the ideas to others and teaching others how to develop good ideas, leaders create organizations that are finely tuned toward delivering success. The second one is you should be full of values. Winning leaders articulate values explicitly and shape values that support business ideas and support the emotional and mental stability of their colleagues. Of course, you should not also forget the third one. You should be filled with energy. You know, winning leaders are motivated and they motivate others about change and transition. Well, always remember, leader energizes others when they personally interact with them, become the energy to others. And the last one is the edge. Do you have the edge? Leadership is about making tough yes or no decisions. Winning leaders face reality and they make decisions about people, products, businesses, customers, and even suppliers. So, do you take an edge to make a tough decision of a yes or no? Now, in connection to that one, I would like you to ask yourself, are you a leader, teacher, or manager with an edge? You don't need to answer that. Well, we just need to dig in onto the meaning and closer view of an edge. Edge is actually described as the capacity to make great decisions and are willing to sacrifice his or her present for the upcoming future. Are you willing to sacrifice your present for the future? Well, the edge manifests in 2 major factors as listed here. First one is that you should have this immense drive to seek the truth, which will be the basis for decision making. And upon seeking the truth, well, you should also have this courage. The courage to take decisions. You know, the edge should not only be measured on the leaders, but most importantly on the people inside the teaching learning culture. Edge is actually observed in different categories of situations. We have here a table being proposed by Mr. Jack Welch. Mr. Jack Welch came up with a 2x2 matrix on people. He looked at the ability of the person in accepting and adopting the values of the organization on one dimension and his performance on the other dimension, as listed on this table. The resulting matrix is assessed as 4 types of people. Type 1 are the person that do have high values and high performance. Well, you as a leader, you should even more encourage and nurture them. The type 2 person is that their values are low and their performance is low as well. Well, these might be not the perfect person to create a wonderful culture and a wonderful teaching and learning experience inside your colleague. So they must go. The third one do have the high values but low in performance. Well, maybe they just need another chance and able for them to prove themselves. So give them another chance. And the fourth one do have low values but really high in performance. Well, this type 4 person is okay in the short run, but in the long run, they are not really suitable inside the place. They might become the reason why there would be fights and mishaps inside your particular organization. Now, you're almost ready for the right shop, but you need to know about the 7 truths on how to become a leader or manager as creator of teaching and learning culture. In 2010, Kauzis and Posner conducted a research on revealing the secrets and truth about leadership. They suggest that while the context of leadership has changed since their research began, those behaviors and habits that are not successful did not change. They decided to do research, and actually, this topic, after receiving several inquiries and comments regarding on how the context of leadership is changing as millennial students join on the workforce. So with that, here are the 7 truths on becoming effective creators of teaching learning culture. First one is that you need to know that you make a difference. You have to believe that what you do counts for something. In a survey, respondents chose the most influential leader to them from a variety of options and across the board. Well, guess what? Family members ranked the highest. The next ranked leaders were other close community members, and so on and so forth. Continuing this idea, the most important person at work is a direct supervisor. In this position, you have the greatest influence over the happiness and therefore the productivity of your direct reports. You should always remember that you are up next. You can make a difference. Second one is that the credibility is the foundation of the leadership. Well, credibility is linked with a leader's believability. If constituents cannot find the reader or the leader credible, they will not trust him or her. The importance of credibility is supported by the author's laws of leadership. Well, if you don't believe the messenger, you won't believe the message at all and do what you say you will do. As leaders exhibit higher levels of credibility, their followers are even more productive, increasing the effectiveness of the leader. Next one is that values drive commitment. This commitment refers to both the leader's commitment to a cause and the follower's commitment to the leader and the cause. Leaders must must know their own values and beliefs to truly understand their motivation. Next one is focusing on the future sets leaders apart. What's your vision? This question is not one that followers ask of their teammates or peers, but only of their leaders, emphasizing the importance of a leader's vision. To have a vision, leaders must be able to imagine and articulate exciting future possibilities. Well, we are boiled down to the last two secrets. The second to the last is that you cannot do it alone. No one is an island. I personally used to become one-man show, and even our previous lessons may have given the impression that leadership is all about the leader. To clarify this perception, as a leader, you, he or she is here to serve others, not the inverse. To see if someone is a leader, look to see if they have followers. Next one is the challenge. Challenge is the crucible for greatness. The most admired historical leaders are distinguished by their ability to lead through major challenges. Leadership is all about how a leader leads others through challenges and change. These challenges provide the opportunity for the leaders to shine and demonstrate skills to the followers by taking initiative to move the group forward. And of course, always remember that leadership is an affair of the heart. The general opinion of managers in organization is that they do and should detach their emotion from work. However, research indicates that the highest performing managers are connected to their emotions. The leader wants to serve others and help them to grow to be the best, become effective to them. Now, in 2019, Mr. Bitoff described more than 50 specific leader-manager methods in creating teaching and learning culture. And with that we will now be talking about the leader-manager methods in creating a teaching, learning, and culture. These are the particular steps in creating a teaching, learning, and culture. First one, you should identify. The identification of learning needs and design of learning solutions and programs should be there. Second one is that it should have live teaching. Third one, the integration and use of media and technology should be a part of it. Fourth one is that pre-program and post-program teaching and coaching to help ensure application and impact of learning. And the last one, recruiting, training, and coaching and mentoring teachers should be considered. Well, I know there are so much that you have heard from me. And with that, I think it is best to have the work stop time. Be prepared as we will now begin our work stop. We will now give an application to everything that we have learned today. Let us put our learnings into application with our activity, the Culture Shack. In this activity, you will analyze the scenario that will be given on the next slide. Using all the insightful learning today, create a snap solution on the problem. Do not forget to follow the 5 steps solution presented by Mr. Bitoff a while ago. And with that I believe you're ready. Let us begin. Here is the scenario. You are the science area coordinator of your prestige institution. On the previous accreditation, the accreditors commented on their provisions to integrate Section 5 laboratories with Section 3 instruction, most especially in STEM education. Your laboratory can only accommodate biology experiments, and the teacher under this subject area are mostly specialized in chemistry. A year from now, the accreditors will conduct their resurvey visit. You were tasked to be the head of these separate area reports. What are the best actions? Again, we need to think of the 5-step that Mr. Bitoff have proposed a while ago. First, the identification of learning needs and design of learning solutions and programs. Second, the live teaching. Third, teaching through the use of media and technology. Fourth, pre-program and post-program teaching and coaching to help ensure application and impact of learning. And the last one, recruiting, training, coaching, and mentoring leader teachers. Now I'm giving you some time to think of what would be the best solution for this one. And the time is up. Now, this is just an example of the solution that you may propose. For the identification of learning needs and design of learning solutions and program, you need to know what are the needs and the solution design for the particular scenario. In this scenario, we have known that laboratory materials in chemistry and physics plus laboratory manuals are needed in able for us to boost the laboratory and instruction that was given. And the best way to have the solution is through the learning design of experimental-based learning. We should accompany the instruction with the laboratory and experimental-based learning enable for the laboratories and instruction to integrate with each other. Through that, the direct purposeful experience is highlighted as well as the learners will firsthand have their experiment and have their direct purposeful experience in application of their knowledge. The second step is to know your live teaching. In the live teaching, I have decided to borrow the skill and the scheme of design thinking. Here in design thinking, you need to empathize to your learners first. After knowing their needs, you need to define what should be the goal and what are actually the definition and the things that you need to know in that particular lesson. Well, the define or the definition part can be integrated with laboratories because they may actually find the learning inside the laboratory. After finding the learning, they can now ideate and create solution to a prevailing problem. And from ideating it, they can create a prototype that will become their experiment, a solution, or perhaps a capstone project that they may propose and able for them to solve a problem. And of course, it is very important to test a particular prototype. This is just an example on how would you solve this problem, but there are endless possibilities on how would you do it. Well, the teaching through the use of media and technology can actually be collaborated through the use of our media and laboratory gadgets. The laboratory reports, such as the breadboard simulator, that is an application found in our digital and media and technology, can actually be converted into a real scenario by having their experiment inside the physics laboratory. After their laboratories, after their experiences, they could conduct their reports and simulation to be projected through the use of media and technology. The fourth one is the pre-program and post-program teaching and coaching to help ensure application and impact of learning. Live doubt solving will surely give an answer for those people and for those students and even teachers who have still the query about this particular program. And giving an example and setting as an example will lead you to fishbowl experiment. But again, this is just my proposal. You can actually have your proposal as well. And lastly, recruiting and training and coaching and mentoring leader teachers should be considered. This includes relevant training about other fields of science, since the teachers available are only specialized in chemistry. In our curriculum, you should be knowing it all. Since it's spiral progression, you should know the other fields of sciences, such as biology, physics, and environmental science. And that can only be achieved if there will be refreshers training and relevant seminars to be given to our leader teachers. And that's it. You're really good in answering all the queries. Now, to summarize, we have here the virtuous teaching cycle. The virtuous teaching cycle shows and emphasizes the role of the teacher, the manager, and the leader in creating a culture inside the classroom. The teacher will set the stage for mutual learning. On that point, the teacher has teachable point of view, reducing the hierarchy, commitment to learn, and creates interactive processes towards learning. Now, as the stage for mutual learning is actually set, the learner will now become committed to developing own teachable point of view and self-confidence to learn and later on to teach. Now the learner will engage to the teacher in mutual learning, and the teacher, who knows, might also learn coming from the learner. And this virtuous teaching cycle goes round and round. And this is actually the summary of our discussion today. You can become the source of knowledge, set the culture inside the organization, but you can also become a learner coming from your colleague. You can also learn from them. And that ends my presentation. Thank you very much for listening. Once more, this is Mr. Marjavin Lapiras, simply Marge. Thank you very much for listening. Have a great day.